Hi class, this is Tracy here in my week 4 video discussion, and we're going to be talking about the WBS. WBS stands for the Work Breakdown Structure. This is the tool used within the project management teams, programs, essentially any project that's overall being done within multiple members to have a clear understanding and the work that needs to be done successfully to complete the project in a timely and cost-effective manner. WBS is fundamental to any project because it helps all members narrow down their direct impact that they have individually on the project. It defines their personal scope, requirements, cost analysis variances, along with enabling a flawless deliverable at the end. Change is inevitable. As we all know, we've talked about it in other sections, that change is going to happen. And when a change occurs, the WBS will need to be adjusted. And there will be a ripple effect when there is a change and the WBS needs to be altered. Because there's so many different dynamics that go into the WBS, each one of those may have a change within that one single change that happened. In the end, ultimately, the project manager is going to have the yes or no on that change. And obviously, they're going to have that sounding board of a board of directors or CEO or whoever is kind of the head honcho of the overall project. Key elements and components that are used within the WBS method are identifying within the organization and who is responsible exactly for what, being able to pinpoint and narrow down who is going to do what. A detailed timeline, like we said before, having that detailed timeline and know when portions are due, exactly when they're due, and what is due within that time frame is going to be your key to success and staying on track. All the resources that are required to complete it properly. There may be specific attributes that are needed, and making sure that you're following those guidelines. Total cost projections. Obviously, no one's really going to know until the end, but those projections and staying within that reasonable realm. The contract details, if there's any actual contracts, project management team contract with equipment wise, contract with workers. So just understanding and knowing those baseline of the contracts. Identifying standards and quality control and training essentially. So are we abiding by all the different training that needs to happen? The quality control, is it done properly on the different equipment or pieces of the project? And then lastly, all the technical data that needs to come in to be able to flawlessly complete this project. Did we meet all the KPIs? Did we stay within budget? Are we on the timeline? Making sure all that technical data is shown with the project. There are columns that will need to be used within the WBS. Coding and numbers will help identify different associated projects that are going to intertwine with each other to make sure there's no overlap and make sure that things are right where they need to be, and one's not done before the other, which could mix up and mess up your whole process. So personally, I think that the cost and timeline are going to be your two variables that are going to determine what are the higher level tasks within the WBS. Looking at how long is a project or a portion of the project going to take, and the cost. Those two need to be balanced each other so you can have enough time to do it. You have the proper funds available, and the importance of those funds. Is it something that we really want but we could do without? Then we push it back. Is it something that we really need to complete this? So let's push it up. Knowing how long the task will take to complete is going to also push or drive different aspects. So from previous WBSs, the best thing would be just don't reinvent the wheel. In the past, it's used as a creative baseline, and you could take that as your own. Take that other WBS that has been established and use it as your template and your skeleton to be able to adapt to your specific project and how it's going to work. And also, you learn from your mistakes. You've seen what didn't work in the past, what kind of needed a little more attention that shouldn't have, and you can adapt to the new one. So I hope I brought some attention to this, and I hope I was able to answer all your questions. Looking forward to feedback, guys. Have a great week.